So we get on to our first of two 14-minute plus one lap encounters for DD2. Your grid is as follows. On pole position, a very familiar face to the BNL karting series. He just so happens to be the two-time reigning and defending DD2 BNL karting series champion. Moving Powers, Zandop Schublak on the front row will have Silas Ritter. Very, very capable young man out of Denmark who took his maiden podium on debut, no less, at the Winter Cup at Karting Campillos just a fortnight ago. So let's see what he has to prove in the BNL karting series. Just behind will be Switzerland's Jan Schwitter and Lasse Andresen from Denmark alongside him. Matthias Lund and Mark Dunholm round out the top 6 positions. Completing the top 10, it's Marcel Steinert from Germany, Rasmus Vendelbo for Denmark, Alexander Zanibekian from the Netherlands, and alongside, I think this is the first time I'll commentate on Mick Knowlton in DD2 itself. Sebastian de Grand in 11th, Jan Negusens in 12th place. Then we have Chris Kopp and Max Fleischmann, Victor Poulsen and Walter Antonissen. Hopefully I've got that right. I was mentioned that this morning. Gilles Puellings in 17th. Russia's Artem Mikhailov in 18th, ahead of Bastian Krapov from Germany. Maxim Diric from Belgium. Jonas Wolscheid from Germany. Gustav Dahlmann-Birch from Denmark. Brindley Kinch and Adrian Zlanis and Erikas Beliauskas from Lithuania rounding out the order. Good to see that Konrad Bayer, one of our regulars for DD2 Masters, sustained a rib injury back at Campillos, and he said, all the very best, I will be back for the first round. Good on you, Konrad. Normally running with a 508 in DD2 Masters. Right, 14 minutes on the clock are set, ready to count down the moment the red light on the starting gantry goes out, and then we'll have an additional lap to boot. So it is Schublak, Ritter, Schwitter, Andresen, Lund, Duholm, Steinert, Vendelbo, Zanibekian, and Knowlton. Right, that's a full start. That was clearly a full start. So another formation lap. We were going so well. Sorry. I have to put a bit of a humorous spin on that. But yeah, I think at the end of it all, these things can happen. The drivers get themselves steeled up, ready to race, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't go. But it is what it is. So we'll have a second time at getting this 14-minute race underway. Schublak actually is the 2020 Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup winner. So he's got a free season pass to the Euro Trophy this year. He missed out on the crown by just a handful of points behind Jakob Bezel at the Wackersdorf season finale late last year. So it's a case of reset, and let's go at it again, shall we? Schublak and Ritter on the front row, followed by Schwitter and Andresen. That's the top 2 rows. They come round the final corner. Do we go lights out second time round? They head into the tram lines. Wait for it. Wait for it. We go lights out this time. And Andresen gets up the inside of Ritter going into turn 2 for the first time. Schwitter. Oh, that was a bit of a bump over the curbs there. Who was that individual? Oh, now it's an absolute... We got through turn 3 and then turn 4 towards the back part of the top 15. 3 into 1 quite clearly did not go. So Schublak gets the whole shot and runs away. In customary fashion, I might add. He's not a rookie at this, is Zandop Schublak. So we have, I think that is Jan Schwitter down in 4th place behind Ritter, and who is behind? That is the 435 of Duholm. So the 4:35. So at the minute, Schiblak after lap 1 is doing a karting equivalent of a Sebastian Vettel masterclass. Get a gap and start getting away from everybody. It is Jan Schwitter who is now up into second position. So I thought that might have been Lasse Andreasen, but Andreasen down in 4th place behind Silas Ritter. Then it's Mark Duholm, Matthias Lund, then it's Steinert, Sani Bekian, Vendelbo, de Gron now hits the top 10, just ahead of Fleischmann. Knowlton down to 12th, Wellings, Gersons, Antonissen, unfortunately, is down into 21st now, so he might have been one of the drivers that might have been compromised, not too sure on that front. Because when you see them going into turn 1, you don't know how it's all going to pan out, because unlike water, which normally flows into a space, karts driven by motivated and hungry individuals that want to win doesn't really flow in the same sort of ebb, does it? But now the gap has been extended by a further 0.3 of a second between Zandab Schiblak and Jan Schwitter. So that's Belgium leading Switzerland. Then we have a quad of Danes. A quartet of Danes. Ritter, Andreasen, Duholm and Lund rounding out the top 6. So Chris Kopp is in 16th, so has made some moves up the order. Antonissen now behind Mikhailov, who is currently, so the Russian in the 4:51 now, currently circulating in 18th place. So I'll quickly run through the order as quick as I can, as long as no one tries to... Silas Ritter just stole my thunder there before I even had a chance and got up the inside of Jan Schwitter into turn 2. Nice work from the young Dane. But now we have Andreasen, I believe, just behind Jan Schwitter. Then behind that is Matthias Lund. So it's quite interesting how, as a commentator, you're going to say something, and then something like that happens. So well done, Silas. I'll be giving you a pat on the back later on. So Schiblak did have a lead of just over 1.1 seconds. That time around. It could look like it's going to be extended. But I will be honest here that Silas Ritter, when he was racing at Campos 2 weeks ago, was very impressive indeed. The gap has now extended to 1.756 seconds. So Schiblak leads, Ritter, Schwitter, Andreasen, Lund, Steinert, Duholm, Sani Bekian, de Grond, Vendelbo, Knowlton, Fleischmann, Wellings, Gersons, Dirk, Kopp, Antonissen, Mikhailov, Paulsen, Birch, Krapov, Wolscheid, Lazis, Kinch, and Beliauskas. Good to see Katrin Karet is currently watching, wishing Jan Schwitter on. So we'll see how he gets on. He's about 2 seconds off the leader at the minute, down in 3rd place, but is being closed in on by Lasse Andreasen, who is looks like he's wearing his Team Denmark uniform. Yeah, that definitely is the case. So Lasse Andreasen trying to close up on Jan Schwitter. That particular time he was 0.104 of a second ahead, ahead in terms of solitary lap pace. But Jan Schwitter admitted to me at the beginning of this weekend, as he is now down in 3rd place, he said, I had the 1 lap pace in qualifying, but now I need the consistency. And the consistency, I have to agree with him, was not in his favour last year. And no matter what the team tried, no matter what they tried to do in terms of setup, it wasn't the fact that it wasn't helping, it was just that nothing was happening at all. And they were trying so many different things and it wasn't quite working out, but Jan seems to be a bit more consistent, and he is running in the 54.4s. Between him, Silas Ritter, Lasse Andreasen, Matthias Lund, Marcel Steinert, who's now up into 6th place, they're running quite comparative, so the consistency is showing. But then it's about bravery as, oh no, 2 have gone off, and 1's gone grass tracking. That is 2 RS competition carts. Hang on, there's 3. Hang on, I've just seen 4 go off. Now, what is there on the track? Is there an issue on the track? Now that is 5, 6 carts off. There were drivers going towards the left-hand part of turn 1. Slippery surface flags are out. The rain has come down. The rain has come down at midday, and 5 or 6 carts were incredibly compromised. It is now tippy-toeing. It is not about who's going to get the upper hand on who. It's who's going to finish. So that is absolute drama. I was wondering. So that is a full course. Yeah, the brollies are coming up. So these drivers are going to be very, very, let's just say the word, aware of what is going on right now. And in the lead of the race, Zander Schriblak is not leading anymore. Matthias Lund. And I'm just keeping an eye on the timing screens. Right. This has given me a big insight onto who has ended up off of the circuit. Zander Schriblak, Marcel Steinert, Wout Antonissen is off the circuit. Duhlholm from Denmark. There were several drivers, I think maybe even, let's have a look here. So there are some drivers who I won't think. Now, Maxim in the Didic in the 499, and the rain is hitting the side of the commentary box, so it is coming, and it is coming thick and fast. So the rain was originally predicted for around about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and it's hit an hour earlier. Because now it is about who is going to stay on the track. There are some that might be brave and do a bit of a Jensen Button if they can feel what the track is doing, how it's evolving. A very interesting story from, well, when Jensen was actually talking about his late father John, aka Papa Smurf. He said that, well, Dad said to me, well, Ray, the reason why they're not allowed to pass is... word from the track officials. It is now being declared a wet race meeting, effective immediately. Hence the silence for about 3 or so minutes time. So we've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go, plus an additional lap, and it has really changed things in... Yeah, so thank you very much, Conrad Bayer, for saying yes, there are no yellow flags, rather than showing yellow or red, which is only slippery surface, and that's why everyone went off at turn 1. So Ray, overtaking is still allowed. If it was a full course caution, then that would not be a problem, because they would not be allowed to overtake, and thereby would fall foul of the race control and the stewards. And it is not getting any easier out there, because at the moment, the driver that is leading is Lasse Andreasen at the minute. Matthias Lund and Jan Schwitter ran out the top 3. Max Fleischmann from Germany is in 4th. Mick Knowlton, P5. Rasmus Vendelbo in 6th. Silas Ritter recovers to 7th position ahead of Alexander Tsani Bekian from the Netherlands, Jan Negusens and Gilles Puellings in 10th place, Victor Poulsen 11th, Gustav Dahlmann Birch in 12th, Mikhailov. I'm just keeping an eye on things because it's changing quite a lot as there are yellow flags as someone from GKS Lemons Power is beached on the mud on the inside of turn 1. So the rain is causing havoc. Now, who is that? That is not Mick Knowlton, though. That's definitely not Mick Knowlton. That is... I was trying to keep an eye on that particular... It's quite, you try and see who is running where, and it can pull a bit of a flanker, so to speak. So let's have a look. So there was definitely one driver that had a brightly coloured kart and is... so Marcel Steinert, I think, has retired, as has Wout Antonissen as well. So down to 23 drivers. Sander Schiblak is trying to make some sort of a recovery drive, but in the conditions that we have, it is not possible. And the reason being is because everything has changed. Mick Knowlton, that might have been Mick actually, that was off the circuit. He dropped down to 7th, but it's as I said earlier, it is survival, and these drivers have to hang on for probably about another 3 minutes tops. So there is going to be dirt on the tyres. The drivers are going to be feeling the cold. They're going to be feeling wet. And there's going to be a lot of cleaning up to do on these karts post-race after they've gone through scrutineering. So a lot of them will be... I've just seen Mick come through. I think that was turn 3. So at the minute, Lasse Andreasen now leads the race ahead of Max Fleischmann. Matthias Lund and Jan Schwitter now round out the top 4 ahead of Belgium's Jan Negusens. Then it's Vendelbo, Knowlton, Stanley Bekian, Poulsen, Ritter, Kraphoff, Birch, Dahlmann Birch from Denmark, Köp, Mikhailov, Schiblak up to 15th now. And he is, well, last time around he was about 5 seconds adrift of the Russian. Jonas Wolscheid 16th, Brindley Kinch 17th, Gilles Puellings and Adrian Lassis, and Mark Duholm rounding out the top 20. So that's it, the time is up. I think the drivers will all be breathing a big sigh of relief after this one. Just after the round about the halfway mark on the timer counting down, it was several drivers off, and my instant reaction is their fluid dropped on the track, not rain, but could there have been coolant? Could there have been oil? It could have been anyone's guess. And then seeing the rain, literally off of the, as I saw at least one brolly go up, and that said to me, right, rain's coming. So it's very much a case of just hanging on. Lasse Andreasen will this time around get the final lap board for... so blue flags being waved for some of the back markers. So good work from the marshalling crew. They have been braving the cold, and now they have to brave the rain as well. A big thank you to them. Without the marshals, we don't go racing, and a big thank you to them for doing a very hard job. They love motorsport as much as we do, but they are paramount to keeping everything safe out on the racetrack and making sure that everyone is doing their job and very expedient in what they do. So Andreasen still leads, but it's now on the final lap, and Andreasen now is... in comparison to what you would normally see for a DD2 driver, that is, I think, probably a third, maybe even a quarter of the pace that you would normally see, because of the fact that when you have wet tarmac, slick tyres, no grooves. There is absolutely... It is driving by the seat of his pants, effectively, and through what the input on the steering's doing, because when he puts in, like, the brakes... But a topsy-turvy DD2 race for the BNL Karting Series kickoff is won by Denmark's Lasse Andresen, who survived it all. And what a drive also for Germany's Maxi Fleischmann in second place. Third, it's Jan Schwitter. Fourth, it's Matthias Lund. Nice work by Belgium's Jan Negusens to finish in fifth place. Ahead of Rasmus Vendelbo, Mick Knowlton takes seventh. Alexander Zanibekian, eighth. Victor Paulsen, ninth. Bastian Krapov in 10th. Ahead of Zanup Shublak. Silas Ritter recovers to 12th. Chris Kopp, 13th. Artem Mikhailov from Russia. Gustav Dalman-Birch from Denmark round out the top 15. Puellings in 16th. Kinch in 17th. Duholm, De Grand, Walscheid, Lassis, Beliauskas and De Hitch will round out the 23 that finished the race, unfortunately with Marcel Steinert ending out of the race after turn 2 on lap 7, along with Wout Antonissen from Belgium.